In our view at Retirement Capital, we wholly believe in more life, less limits, but also the 5 worlds of financial planning.
Oh, I love
Most people just focus on investments.
Correct.
With the big box stores like a Morgan Stanley, and there's a place for that in accumulation. But our clients, by and large, are at retirement's door, and they're knocking on the door. The strategies that get you to the summit will not necessarily get you back down into the warmth of the valley.
Right.
Different techniques, different tools.
Definitely.
So number one, investments, but income is critically important.
For sure.
Because the hallmark that we know to be true today is most retirees don't have the pensions that civil service workers or their predecessors had in the prior generation.
Right.
Then there's taxes are huge, focusing on pulling the right levers to create more tax efficient income, and also dealing with risk management and healthcare issues such as long-term care costs without buying insurance. And what do you want to be remembered for?
Yeah.
What do you want your epitaph to be? I call it the dash.
Okay.
The dash is kind of like your date of birth. Mine is June 12th, 1962.
Oh,
the dash is here.
I love that.
Someday there'll be a defined date that will finish my earthly passage. But I believe I'll be more alive that day and the hereafter. That's just my personal belief. But at the end of the day, the dash is how you lived your life. How do you want to be remembered?
Yeah.
What do you want people to say about you? So that's our holistic view of doing boutique financial planning in depth for people that have too much money to be poor, but not enough money to be breathtakingly wealthy, like Palm Beach. How would you amplify that? Or do you agree with that approach in a sense?
First of all, I love that you just said that. I go to the Berkshire Hathaway meeting every year.
I love that. Yeah.
I love it. It's kind of like my Super Bowl weekend. And what I would tell you is, I think it was 3 years ago that Warren Buffett literally said that you ought, like, to live a good life, you ought to write your own obituary. So write that out and then go be that person.
That's right.
Go do the things that are going to
100%.
lead to that. And that's what you're talking
love
about there. And then the other part that I caught out of that was when we're just talking about the life and we're talking about how financial planning works. I mean, at the end of the day, like, I don't want to diminish financial planning, but it is a cash flow game. That is literally it, right? Dave Ramsey has a great line where he's like, it's never an income problem, it's always a spending problem.
Sure.
So, and I have had doctors that, make 500,000 and they spend 550 every year. And so they're going the wrong way. We had to right that ship. But yes, you got to solidify your base. So I love that you're working the income part first, right? We need to create our own pension if we don't have one. Sure. We need to, help with our Social Security. That's not enough to get by with. But it's great for a safety net of some sorts. And so we've got that little piece that we take care of before we start working on some of the others. But what I don't like about what you said with the Merrills or the Edward Joneses or whomever you want to talk about when we just talk about investments.
Right.
What I don't like is it's like, here's your model, go get in it. Everybody gets it. It's like you're a cookie cutter real estate developer, right? And maybe you get a red house and you get a blue house, but that's about the only difference. Or the trees on this side versus this side.
No doubt.
And
Absolutely.
I think when we work on the income, once we have that solid base, then we can sprinkle around all the other things, right? And then we end up finding out, because there's a difference between the amount of risk that we can take, like what our tolerance and what our capacity for risk is.
100%.
But I would say, I love that everybody does that and works on those. Hopefully you have some kind of software that helps you figure that out for a family. But I also look at it and say, and why take even an incremental risk that you don't have to?